Yes, guys. Volume. Okay, hello guys. How are you? I started last night to just tell a story about me. I'll be telling just randomly, okay? And this is specifically about 2007, 2008 when I came into the music industry, and about the rejection I have experienced. And I think a little bit about my experience with the body of Christ. Okay, yeah, as I was talking about, I ended saying that it's like the treatment that I have received from the church or from most men of God has just reminded me about the life of Lazarus. You know, if Lazarus had been in the church of today, most of the pastors, let me say maybe just for grace purposes, let me say 70%, they would not have given him a chair to sit down because he is poor. And this is the mistake the ministers of the word do, judging the book by its cover, defining people based on their finances. And then you find also the scripture in the book of Proverbs that is very mistreated, saying a poor man does not have a voice. But I don't think this should really apply too much in the church, because breaking down the poor man, you are actually, pushing this person away from the kingdom, and you're actually working and demoralize. You are working on his complex. You are demoralizing this person. And that is the experience I have been through as a person coming from the background I've come from. So anyway, during the awards, the newspaper read that I got the award the previous night, but unfortunately me and the award organizers and that certain presenter knew that the award was not given to Princess G. So it was really a shock. It was a pain, in a sense that the person that I really trusted, the person I called really somebody close to my heart, a servant of God, according to my eyes. And I believe, yes, the person is. This person, I just have a feeling that this person was involved in this thing. And and that is why I did not mention names. I have been during awards that I think 3 awards and so on. Yeah, so I've been nominated, yeah, and it was really painful. And for I don't know why a person would just think I don't deserve to win an award, but thank God for the other awards organizers of Field.com, a gospel music award, of which the country also did not receive very well, because it was of Christian, established by Christian people. Countries, just one, like in Namibia, gospel music awards are won by people. If you look at their lifestyle, it's like your father must be a pastor, or your parents must be connected to who, or your parents must be who. You must just live a life. You must live a compromised life. You must be hanging with the secular guys. It's like many people that get those awards, you look at them, like some people who get awards, it's people that were married and have multiple relationships, and so on, but they are gospel awards winners. And and some people, it's just people like one of the people that got awards, like in the long run, it's just something. And then you find in the gospel industry where rules apply to certain people and to some people no. And then you find things like if you are not from the country, you're not supposed to take to take part, and then suddenly you find somebody taking part and also winning who is not from that country. A lot has just been going on. Yeah, please don't come for me. I'm just telling my story like you would tell your story. So I did not mention anybody's name. And if you think this thing is talking to you, then maybe it's you. So if it's you, just repent and don't do it anymore, because heaven is real. Heaven is real. Heaven is real. Here on earth, we are doing eye service. But guys, You can go to hell by hurting somebody. You can go to hell by rejecting somebody the right to just get their award. Hurting somebody to just giving somebody the right to minister, to acknowledge that person as not only a spiritual child, son or daughter, but as somebody who's also worthy ministering during certain places. Yeah, guys, I'm just being real. And, these are things that you go to the grave and you haven't said it. So I'm busy telling my story here. I don't want anybody to go and tell my grandchildren some other stories. I want them to hear, yes, those lies they will be told, but they must hear from me, telling my story, and really music industry, it's really dirty, and I did not expect the gospel part to be dirty as the other side, but yeah, it is dirty. And in a situation where I remember there was a time I got a deal with a Kaikam festival, and the other person did not get that. It's a male person, and this person went to the organizers and went like, yeah, how could you give it to her and not to me? And I'll see myself performing at places, and then my dancers will be like, Mom, look at the person is peeping. My life was actually a danger. I just don't know but I guess such people get power when they are supported. Such people get power when they are supported by people, that are supposed to support both. But, yeah, so anyway, let me just give you, before I run off this, I come from a background where, okay, when we were growing up, for those who have been following me now, when we were growing up, as I said, Mom was an orphan. Mom went through a lot of stuff, and as an orphan, and she was raised by aunties, and everyone, when we raise kids, we like to say, the child is fine, she has food, she has a place to sleep and everything, but there's always those things that kids, every child wish this could have been done. And if that could have been done, probably this could have given this child a little bit of a better space to be psychologically or emotionally. I understand that we all had been through in one way or the other, but sometimes some of the stuff, especially when you grew up without your mother, and she had been rejected by the father, and because my grandmother had fertility issues, so she gave birth to my elder auntie in a very long space of time. And then I think when my elder auntie was like 2019 there, that's when my mother was born. So while my mother was now, my grandmother was at her second marriage, because the first marriage she was divorced because she could only have one child, and they wanted her to have a lot of children. So that's how she met my grandfather, our grandfather, and she also stayed a very long time there. And in the time she fell pregnant, and she didn't know, so she went home just to realize she was pregnant. So then my grandfather denied my mother, and so I think my mother grew up with all these kind of things. So my mother got married to her first husband, and she had the husband had fertility issues. Can you see? The husband had fertility issues, and eventually, okay, my elder brother was born. It was a long story. My elder brother was born, and our elder brother, when he was born, then Mom could not, they want, Africans, they've got a certain, they give you limits, they give you a time frame when you should have your second child, your third child, and things like that, so if I was given that opportunity, I would have wanted to give birth after 5 years, not like stairs, you understand? So because it also has a toll, it will just drain you. So that is how my grandmother went home and realized she was pregnant. My mother was born. And when I think Mom was apparently 2 years or 1 year plus, then our grandmother passed on. She passed on of a cardiac arrest. After she heard that her cousin passed away that she loved so much, and she passed on. So anyway, so Mom grew up, having that background. She grew up, I think she later got depression. So she came to meet my mother, our father. And so when she met my father he was a gentleman and everything, but I think my father had anger management issues, and he was also on the beating side, and yeah, so it was, and mom was a very beautiful person, and he was very jealous and things like that. So mom grew up with this, in this situation where she was depressed and everything, but she really tried her best. But it happened that as I told you before in my previous videos, I grew up with my auntie, and yeah, things were just not as you know, it was a little bit hectic. So I came to staying with mom, and long story short, we had a good life, and suddenly things just went down. So I come from a background where we used to use later on, when things were not fine anymore. So when I gave birth to my child, my sister gave birth to hers, and we were no more siblings of 5. We're now 7 in number, plus my mom, we were now 8. And yeah, the situation was a little bit of the poverty way of looking. So, and when I came back to the Lord in 1993, I went to serve in this beautiful church. But also there, I was defined by my mother's background. I was defined as somebody who has given a child birth outside wedlock, somebody who's from a poor background. They don't have water in their house. So when it's time to lead worship, these people, they come from good homes, they will be given mics, and you know, and you because you know when you grew up in a place which show you a little bit of a tough situation, you expect when you come to church love will just flow. But guys, it doesn't work like that most of the time in most churches. I'm a child of God and I love God, but the church is a place where you can get destroyed, where you can get wounded, and the same place where you can also get molded, you can get healed, and your heart can just be restored. So yeah, so anyway, so in that church I faced a lot of rejection, and it was just not. That is why even when I'm in this place, I want to really go to that church, but each time you go, this like it gives me this flashback, this flashback anyway. So that is how I went to Bible school. I went to do my diploma in theology. Ministry was very well. I salute Pastor Udo and the late Bishop Ray Wallace. These people accepted me with my shortcoming. They gave me the chance in the college, and I finished my diploma with 76 marks. And yeah, so it was really beautiful. So then when I was done, I went to started my own ministry. Then things were just very fine. And one man of God came and told me, no, Pastor Launa, you need a mentor. So that's how I found myself in a certain beautiful place too. But I believe I misunderstood the idea of mentorship, the ideology of mentorship. So I thought I was supposed to go and join and so on. And I was also not guided to maintain my ministry, but rather to leave everything. Yeah. So, and when I came here, my expectation was different. So it was a little bit of a roller coaster, a little bit of an imbalance, where you could see there was a kind of a push and pull. The other parent accept me for who I am, and there was a little bit. And as children in the house, like servants, pastors, were pulling each other, and it is as if I was just expected to make any mistake. They were just, only my mistake was seen, and I was spoken to anyhow. And I was like, God, what is this? There was a time I faced, the servant of the Lord, the mother. I said, I don't understand. I just feel that you hate me. And guys, if you ask, people that know me, I don't like to talk because it feels like a waste of time. But if you see myself talking, then really it has been too much. So it is under this situation where yes, you feel that love, but you can just know that it was like I was like a step person and had been through a lot. And I just feel that sometimes certain places, especially certain mentors or spiritual parents or whatever, sometimes I just feel that the more they know your stories, how rich you are, they actually value you based on how rich are you, how eloquent, how educated. It's not about, guys, I'm not saying that people should be stupid in the house of God, but I'm just saying that at the end of the day, all these things, they are vanity. Solomon said, vanity, all these things are vanity. The education of the person, the eloquent, yes, you will tell me, but Jesus took the Dr. Matthew, fisherman Matthew, Dr. Luke, and blah, blah. Yes, but those were just the key people. There were people who were also part of that, and, guys, we don't need to define people that come to our churches based on their level of education and everything. At the end of the, first, see the person's soul, see the need the soul has. And then from there, the other stuff should be a bonus. Okay, and we also look into who is giving the biggest tithe, who is not, who is what, who is compromising, who is do what. And for me, I'm that type. I just don't like to compromise. And yeah, I think that was a thing. But the key thing is, I have been through a place where, like the church, for me, the church, there's only one church I would want to go. I can just close my eyes, I can just stand up and drive there, and I'll just go there. And that church knows, really, because whenever I think of my background, I think of pain, I think of rejection. Guys, you try to tithe, you try to give your all, you try everything, but my dear, when you can't give anymore, when your fountain has dry, instead of being told that this is what you should do to gather the water or things like that, you are just not being helped. You are rather being instead of being helped to just grow, or how to make that fountain to have water again, for you to be able to be tithing from there or to be offering from there, you are just being pushed. I've seen people giving their all, and the day when they can't, the church can not even say, do you have a bread? Do you have what? Hey, guys, I don't know. I was telling my auntie last night, we're speaking, and I said, if only we could know, yes, we must give our life to Christ. We must get born again. Yes, we must go through a deliverance and everything. But none of us still know the exact qualification. Yes, you have given your life to Christ. But tomorrow, when you treat this person like that, this might be the thing that will make you to go to hell. So anyway, it is under this whole situation that I've been through, and I've seen where there's some organizations about music thing in the house of Christ, and I'm not given the invitation card. You understand? Because I don't have the best car. I don't give the best tithe offering. But you know what? I love God. I do what I can, and it has been a roller coaster. So excuse me. So this is how as I said, during the awards, I was not seen as somebody who deserved to have an award, guys. The church is a place that can hurt you. Church people can hurt you. Church politics is very dirty, dirtier than the secular one. Because why it is very dirty? These are people that know God. These are people that have the power, that understand the power of life and death, where it is in your tongue. These are people that know God, and you expect them to know better. And yeah. And then I had experienced where somebody would come pretending to be my friend, and maybe they'll be like, have you seen this and that? It's not really well. And sometimes you just say 2-3 words. They take it to the man or woman of God, and they modify it. And instead of this man or woman of God just coming to you like, my daughter, this and that, they'll just, and it is after all the things when they realize, or when they would realize, oh, we have lost out, then they want to come to you. And when they want to come back to you, they are not ready to say, we are sorry, my daughter, my son, we are sorry. No, the show should just continue. But I think if you are really a man or woman of God watching this, your children in the Lord deserve an apology. They deserve just an apology. They deserve to be listened to. When the other one say this and that, please come out and say, put them together. Learn to be honest. Learn to be fair. Learn to judge like the way God would do. So guys, this is how I kind of also gave up on taking part in the nomination, because I knew for as long as this person, this actually male person, and this one, it was not going to work. So I just started singing, ministering, giving my music on the radio and things like that. And to an extent that even at a musical body in our country, you hear somebody who is not really the money they get. You know, when you have people in places that think they know you, they start to put a price tag on you. And they'll find a way on stealing your money, and for formality, give you peanuts from what you're supposed to get. They find a way to give your award away. Guys, this world is very dirty. This world is very, very, very dirty. Okay, so that is story time. We'll continue next time. Just stay tuned, and there's many things I will just share with you. But thank God I have forgiven them. I love them, only that I cannot trust them with my life anymore. So have a blessed day, whether it's night, whether it's morning, whether it's an afternoon. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment below. Until we meet again, stay tuned. I am your person, Launa K, or rather Launa Kavena. Motto from me to you is a bye-bye.